Terrorform podcast. This is Donnie.
I'm Josh.
I'm Kristin.
And I'm Erin.
And we're here to make the world a creepier place.
On today's episode, I have a very short story coming at you live from the Terrorform compound. It happened in the days of my youth, back when I was a younger lad, of course. Most of these stories are back from then, but
before I came around.
Kids do see ghosts more than adults.
Well, it wasn't
they
like a kid. It was more like
preteen
type of maybe 12.
You're still a kid.
So,
Yeah, you still
I
have
don't
some childishness.
tendencies. So anyways, basically what happened, in the living room of the house that I grew up in for the majority of my life, the one where we experience paranormal activity to this day.
Got a ghost hunt there one day.
Mm-hmm.
We would, one day might be a
You heard me, Michelle?
long time. Okay, so I would sleep on the recliner in the living room. I would fall asleep to the Andy Griffith Show because we had it on DVD.
I was thinking that.
So one night I was on the recliner, kicked back, relaxing, watching Andy Griffith, and my little brother Dustin, he was laying on a pallet on the floor, not a wooden pallet for all you high class people, a pallet as in blankets on the ground that you lay on with another blanket and a pillow, basically a ground bed. So he was on the ground in front of the recliner. I believe I had the legs up, but I might not have. So I was laying there watching the Andy Griffith Show, and out of the corner of my eye, right below the recliner to my left, because the hallway comes out this way, I see this black shadow figure, like kind of doing I would say a crab walk, where the arms are kind of
like The Exorcist?
Yeah, like The Exorcist.
So bent backwards and broken?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that walk.
But the arms come up like this and back like that.
Wait, where did you see it crawling from?
From the hallway, from behind us.
Okay.
And Dustin's laying in front of me. So I see this thing on its, walking like this, but it's real small, maybe this big.
What the
How
heck?
fast is it going?
About that speed, just
slower?
Yeah.
Ugh.
And I see it out of the corner of my eye, and by the time I realize it, because I lag, it kind of passes the front of the arm of the recliner, so I can't see it other than the back half, and even the legs were doing that too,
God, I know, it gets worse and worse.
But you gotta remember it's on its back like this, so it's walking. But I couldn't see a head. I mean, it was just a super black figure, really dark. I couldn't make out any features, and it was in my
just
peripheral.
Just the arms and legs.
Yeah, and by half of it had crossed the arm of the recliner, so I couldn't see half of it. And by then, like I said, I realized kind of what I was seeing. So I shoot up and look down at the ground to see what it is, and nothing's there. And and my brother didn't wake up. I just sat back in the recliner again and went back to the Andy Griffith Show.
Oh my gosh, your ability to chill after these experiences is insane.
So,
He's trying to ignore it.
Yeah.
But
that lag is
real.
making you, yeah. It's sedating you.
But I've heard you tell me this story before, but I always thought it was human size. I didn't realize it was small.
No, it was only maybe 2 foot long or
Should have
something.
stomped that thing out.
Yeah.
Well, when I was sat up,
great.
I saw
It
what
was
it
gone.
was.
It was gone.
Half of it had disappeared behind the arm of the recliner, and then I shoot up and look, and nothing's there. So then I'm just I look at Dustin, and I just sit back in the recliner and put my cover back on. I'm watching Andy Griffith.
That's so creepy.
And you said it was crawling towards your brother?
Yeah.
How long did you think you saw it?
Maybe
watching it?
5 or 10 seconds.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, it wasn't very long duration, but it feels like it was a long time. But it really wasn't.
What's with stuff going after our brothers?
I don't know.
Like, that was my whole don't go back thing. It's like, my brother's in there.
I do not know. But I tried to do a little research on anything like that, and I really couldn't find anything. But then I found this Reddit post from 8 years ago on the r/paranormal Reddit thread, and the user has been deleted, so it doesn't have a user, but it's titled, "I saw a human-like creature crawling on the floor," and I was kind of thinking, oh, this kind of sounds about like what I saw. So I guess I'll tell this story. I have lived through several haunted houses when I was younger, and this happened in the same house where I heard the scratching on the door in my other post. I was around 14 at the time, and I always had a tendency to sleep on the couch in the living room.
Oh,
Ooh.
to you.
Pretty similar.
Yeah.
Because I didn't like sharing a bed with my older brother. This is
reversed.
one of two strange encounters in that living room. One particular night, as usual, it was around 10 p.m., and I go to the living room couch. Everyone else was still awake in their rooms, and I could see the hallway light on, but the living room was dark, but not completely. So I get comfortable with the covers on, and the couch was positioned in such a way that the back of the couch faces the hallway. In other words, I cannot reach the hallway from the couch unless I jumped over or walked around it. I guess I should mention that too, like the TV, the light from the TV was obviously shining on the ground, so I could make out the features like that. Okay. But it wasn't like a pitch black room, so I guess I should have specified that. But you could. Okay, it's like there makes was it light,
more valid, because if it's like super dark, sometimes you think you're seeing things.
Especially like when I go hunting, and it's real like low light.
Yeah.
I just see stuff like giant creatures running through the field, but it's just
it's like it's freaking Chris Holtz, all the black figure on two legs running across the street.
But yeah, so there was some lighting, but the figure was just like pitch black, is what I remember.
Like Vanna Black?
Pretty much. Like it was just black.
And like, whenever you saw it, did it like crawl over things, or was it just straight
There's
floor?
There's nothing to crawl over, yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if like a box or like it started crawling like near the chair or something, on the chair.
That'd be even worse.
I know, that's what I was like.
Moving in elevation. Yeah. So this guy says, so I'm lying down. As soon as I close my eyes, it's like I blinked. I hear something crawling on the shaggy carpet, like it was crawling fast in circles.
Ew.
I don't know why that makes it creepy.
It's like Uzumaki. Spirals are scary.
I could hear it loud and clear. I stay frozen thinking, what the F? The crawling sounded as if it was scraping itself against the carpet while moving.
That is true.
I hear it coming closer to me, next to the couch.
So it's like spiraling closer.
And it goes back off to the same spot where the sound started, which was like 5 feet away from the couch in this empty space in the corner of the living room. Curious, I take a small peek. He's shooting up out of the chair. As I can remember, it looked like a human crawling on all fours, except the body was backwards, like if you lie down facing up and then arch your body up with your hands and legs, which is basically what I saw, but it was like small.
I'd be crying.
So I don't know how big this one is.
Out of all things that.
And he says, and it was dark, pale skin, and I didn't see a head, which I didn't see a head either.
Yeah, I was about to say dark. Yeah. Are they like shadowed because it's in the dark? Is that what they mean?
You can tell it's pale, but from it's the darker lighting. Yeah. I guess that's what they
We're like trying to rationalize. Go on.
It says, and it was dark, pale skin, and I didn't see a head, only its legs and hands.
That's what you said.
I didn't even read this far into it. I just saw the crawling.
Ooh, Donnie, you really did see something.
It wasn't wearing anything. It was dark from my view, so I didn't see its entire body. So maybe I just didn't see the entire thing. So maybe I just thought it was that.
So you thought it was small.
I put my head back under the covers as immediately...
I'd be screaming for somebody.
And immediately...
I know.
and immediately yell my brother's name very loud. Tono, Tono,
there we
come
go.
here now. Now, come here. As soon as I finished yelling, the noise stopped. My heart was beating so fast, and I was sweating from being so frightened. Not me.
Yeah, you just watched it. Okay.
Ain't nothing there. I go back to sleep.
My brother came walking like nothing.
Ooh, boy.
Boy.
Like nothing, and turned
Drink some
on the
water.
living room light, or turned the living room light on. I immediately jumped over the couch and stood up to see the normal living room. Everything was the same. No creature, no holes around for it to be an animal, and we had no pets. Needless to say, I was going to say, since I didn't read the whole thing, I just saw the Tono, Tono, come here. I thought he was talking about a dog.
Dono.
Yeah.
Come here, boy.
It's a chihuahua.
Needless to say, I slept in my room that night. I didn't go back to the couch until about a week later, in which I had another scary experience, but I'll tell that story another night. Edit. At that time, I never ever played any scary games, and now that I'm older, I can say the creature looked like something out of a Silent
I
Hill
was
game.
about to say that.
Like the skin texture, I know I wasn't asleep because I barely got on the couch, and when I jumped, I was still wide awake. I wasn't sleepy at all. I know it wasn't a dream. Just
Okay.
like you were saying, I might have had sleep paralysis. And I was like, no, I'm watching Andy Griffith, and I shoot up to look.
Yeah, but that reminds me of two things. I was trying to visualize it. I was thinking one, Silent Hill, from the video games, because there are creatures that don't have heads and they're attached. So it's just two legs and then a waist and two legs up like this. Mm. And it kind of made me think of that. And for people that read manga, it reminded me of Gyo, the fish and their little legs. Yeah. And you said it was small, so I was thinking of the little robotic legs because they kind of look like bent back arms. But yeah, that's what's making me think of.
And then I looked down in the comments, and a comment from 8 years ago, the profile was deleted as well, says,
People are getting freaking killed or something.
Oh my God, we're next.
Yeah.
He says, I've had a similar experience. It was a really long time ago, but I still remember it like it happened yesterday. I was around 7 years old at the time, and I remember waking up in the middle of the night for some odd reason. Then I remember looking across the room and seeing this humanoid figure that was gray/pale in color. It had rustic red eyes, and I remember it wearing some sort of clothing, but I can't be sure because I was focused solely on the eyes. And I don't remember it having any distinguishable facial features, and it was walking towards my bed. 7-year-old me was scared, so I decided to run into my parents' room and to tell them to come see on 3 separate occasions. So it happened 3 different times.
Oh my gosh.
Except it never appeared when my parents were in the room. So I eventually gave up and decided...
I'd be sleeping with my parents forever.
Yeah, more protection.
So I eventually gave up and decided to let out a scream for help, and I just remember it vanishing like somebody turned on a light switch. I know that I wasn't dreaming because my parents talked to me about it in the morning, and I still haven't a clue what I seen that night, but I haven't seen it since.
Dang.
So that one's probably sounds like less of a crawling situation, more of a walking, because he didn't go into detail like that.
Right.
But
I do have a story based on it. Not for me.
Oh, I was
No, but one of my friends, she has a sister-in-law, and I met her a year or 2 ago, 2 years now, and we were talking about ghost stories and all that, and I was telling her the story that this creeper thing that Donnie saw, and she told me she saw the exact same thing. So maybe interconnecting stories.
No.
She
What
said she
is
saw
this
a
thing?
creeper just crawling around.
Yeah.
And
So if anybody out there want to do some research that we couldn't find,
Yeah.
Let us know.
if y'all can find
Or
anything
if
on
you've
this,
seen this
Yeah.
if you've
fucking
seen
thing,
it, let us know.
which y'all called the creeper, which I like that name.
Creeper, crawler, whatever.
Whatever.
The creepy crawler.
Yeah, the creepy crawler.
Because when we were doing research, it was very hard to find anything remotely similar to what Donnie
And
was
I was actually
describing.
surprised that I found that.
Yeah, I am
whim.
too, because I was looking all day,
From a deleted Reddit post.
yeah, which I didn't have much to go off of because we try not to tell each other because we want real reactions, but you were like, something was crawling towards me backwards. That's all you wanted. And I couldn't find anything. I was like, this is freaking impossible.
Ghost with backward limbs. I tried doing that, and it was just like talking about phantom limb stuff.
Oh,
it was like, the pain that people go through when they get like their arms or legs amputated. I'm like, no, I want like an actual ghost whose limbs are backwards. They have their limbs still.
Well, I
it was
guess
very
it could
hard.
be somewhat of a cryptid type thing, but I don't know.
Yeah. Is it a creature?
It kind of reminded me of the Cucuy.
Cucuy? What's that?
Girl, you over there looking like a Cucuy. Uh-oh. What? Yeah. Yeah. What? Okay.
Keep my wife's name out of your mouth. Keep my wife's name out of your mouth.
Okay,
Wait.
I will.
Is your mom? Yeah, your mom. Is your wife's name a Cucuy?
Shut up, Erin.
Oh man.
Okay.
I don't think I will.
On Cucuy.
They're usually
What
just
about the Cucuy?
like from what I saw. Well, one, our Nana, I'm sure she told you about it too. Always told us the scary stories about the Cucuy and how he was going to get us if we were behaving bad. And so I was looking into it online, and not all, but most descriptions of it is he's small and human-like, but he does have a head with big ears usually, and like a beard or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, small and human-like. So I was like, ooh, what if he was like crawling out to get one of y'all? Because y'all were misbehaving or something.
Yeah, isn't that what she said? It comes after you when you misbehave. Mm-hmm. So is this an actual legend, or is this something she came?
Yeah,
up
it's like Mexican folklore.
Oh.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
always remember her or my mom or like your mom like being,
My mom
Cucuy,
never wanted to
Cucuy,
tell us about it, but
Cucuy gotta get you.
Cucuy go get you.
and like
The Cucuy.
like this place that my nana used to live, she had this, like, I don't know, there was a grate and like a hole in her floor and a grate over it, but then like she'd keep a rug over it. And whenever we would be getting on her nerves when she was watching us, she would like unfold the carpet and tell us if we're misbehaving, she's gonna throw us down there with the Cucuy and he was gonna get us.
What's wrong with your Nana?
But-
Minnie, you wrong.
But since you said it's like Mexican folklore, what if it's like a cultural thing? Like you have to be in that culture to like experience things. Because like other countries have, the Baba Yaga. And then there's, like that Russian witch thing. And then there's like, Japanese. Yeah, Krampus and like Japanese spirits and demons. But you don't hear about them happening in like our country. But I mean like, yeah, that's their
Well, there's
cultural
probably like
thing.
a name for it here, but they probably have a different name.
But it's the
Or
fact...
it could be like, like animals. Not all animals on every continent. They're like indigenous to a certain area.
Could be.
But it's the fact that you've seen it, and Nana talks about it.
Yeah, but
so it's like your culture, so
your
you're able to
friend's
see it.
sister is
That's
in-
true.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
true. Never mind.
But Texas used to be a part of Mexico, so we're also in the area.
True. So what if like certain areas you're only able to encounter these things, or like Bigfoot?
Yeah.
You don't see Bigfoot in like China or something.
Well, they have the Yeti.
In China?
Not true.
Probably they have
like,
snow-covered mountains.
Yeah.
Like
They
Nepal,
probably have a Yeti type,
the Himalayas.
but they do have apes there, don't they?
Yeah, monkeys.
But I mean, I guess they could get big.
But I mean, America doesn't have monkeys, so why do we have Bigfoot? America doesn't have monkeys, so why do we have Bigfoot?
True. But speaking of Mexican folklore, we're trying to get Albert on. Albert, if you're watching, you need to come on because he knows a lot about that type of stuff. He wants to talk about, what was it? Santa Claus?
Santa Muerte.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
Santa Claus. What's wrong with you?
Albert.
Trying to offend him so he comes on.
So he can slap you?
Albert.
Sorry, audio listeners.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, audio listeners. Just to give you another reason to watch our videos. You can listen to us first and then watch our videos.
Speaking of videos. Spotify listeners, if you haven't noticed, this episode should be available on video now. It started with our last episode. We got the ability to upload videos to Spotify. Unlock your phone, take a peek. You can see our video now. So
That's
you can lock
wild.
it, keep it in your pocket. Lock it, keep it in your pocket. If you
Hey.
hear that there's something visual
trademark
going on, pull it on out, take a look. Take a look at us. But Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and all the other places that we're available. Sorry about that. Check us out on YouTube just for what I like
Just
to do
for
with
the-
with my podcast.
for the
What I like to
and
do,
giggles.
yeah, you can when you hit that minute mark where you know something visual happened, you can go just fast forward to that minute mark. It's
Yeah. Give us that view.
fine. Yeah, we don't mind. But
Yeah. Get us to 45 subscribers
to
by the time this
45.
video is uploaded.
Get us to
wanna be
100
45.
subscribers. Let's go.
I mean, that's
big.
nice, but we got goals. We gotta set
Yeah,
a reasonable goal.
if
My
we hit
reasonable goal
100
is 100.
Yeah, but a time frame within a week, boy, come on.
Yeah, hit.
Not within a
we
week, but, like,
appreciate
at least
hitting.
get
What
us
do we hit?
to-
42 or 43 or something like that.
I think 42.
We won at 40. That's what we called out last time, and we hit it and we surpassed it. So we want more than that now. And if we hit
We'll never be
100,
satisfied.
if we hit 100, I will be probed, and you can come back to this video and you'll know
Do you
that I
pinky
said
promise?
this. I said this. I'm
Okay.
pinky I will be if we hit 100 subscribers on YouTube.
Kristin.
I will be probed. Okay? Gotta hit
All right.
100.
Kristin, time to strap up.
Gotta hit 100
No, experimental probing from Alien episode.
from Alien episodes.
2.
If you haven't listened to the Alien episode, you're very confused right now. We want to find out what probing is like without being abducted and what the reasoning is behind it.
Pleasure.
And if, and if we hit 100, we'll test that live on air. I will. And also some
What?
other things.
Well, for like redheaded.
He's not specifying where, though. It could be his mouth or his ear.
You should probably specify.
I will be
'cause I'm-
probed in my.
Anus.
I'm
Okay,
saying
and we'll do
Sphincter.
it, and we will do it live on our OnlyFans account. Okay, so
Sphincter says what?
that's the noise I'm gonna make.
That's the noise your sphincter's gonna make.
Jesus Christ.
Should we look at TubeU comments?
Yeah.
Watch out for my
So-
cable.
I'm trying.
She gonna be hissing.
He's trying.
Okay, well, with this
No.
little intermission while we wait for them to pull up comments, be sure to subscribe, like we've mentioned before. Give us a like, hit that bell button, and check us out on Instagram at Terrorform Podcast. Check us out on Facebook at Terrorform Podcast. Ooh, almost messed it up. And be sure to check out our email. If you want to email, submit some stories. If you got any video, evidence, anything, feel free to send it artwork. Send it to terrorformpodcast@gmail.com. If y'all didn't know, I was a radio host when I was going to school at Sam.
Oh, looky there, experience.
And I stuttered.
Ease up.
My name was Aesop.
Aesop.
Hey, it's your host, Aesop, and you are now listening to the Prince of Darkness himself, Ozzy Osbourne.
Was it like a campus radio show?
Yeah.
Crazy.
The prisoners listen to her.
Yes.
For real?
Yes.
Did you get any write-ins?
No.
You know, like Hot Donna from the 70s show. She had all prisoner listeners.
I think I hit the wrong buttons, so like whenever I talked, it never aired.
Oh my, for real?
I think so.
Oh no.
I still got an A.
Goodness.
Nobody paid attention. I'm not sure.
Dang it. So from our Black Eyed Children, episode 10, on YouTube, we have a comment from Misty.
Some Misty.
She says, "Yay, 40."
Woo!
For
We did it.
show.
She was watching us.
Thanks for celebrating with us.
She watched us make our milestone. She watched it live.
Number one fan.
Michelle Swartz says,
Hey, you are their number one fan.
Michelle
His mama.
Swartz says, "Why does Josh have a shirt on and then not? I might be seeing things," and that just kind of confused me because I don't know what she's talking about.
Yeah, what is she talking about?
And I don't know. Like I had
It
a
was cold in here. Why would we take our shirts off?
yeah, I had a text message too from someone who watched, and they were like, "Hey, why did you guys take your shirts off?" And so like she's saying like I did, and then this person texted me, it was like both of y'all did, and I was like,
See, nobody can get their story straight.
yeah,
They don't know
are
what they're
y'all
watching.
talking about?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any freaking sense.
I rewatched the whole thing. I didn't catch anything.
Yeah, like
I don't know what they're talking
I think we would know.
I don't know what they're talking
We
about.
took our shirt off. And then Misty responded to Michelle and said, "You noticed Josh, but not Donnie."
What?
I don't understand.
Yeah.
And then Michelle responded to that and said, "You're going to make me watch it again? I didn't notice anything with him."
Yeah.
Don't waste your time
Make you
because I
watch it
rewatched
again.
it.
You only watch it
mean,
once, Michelle? You
Yeah.
don't watch it multiple times?
You're
That's-
saying it's a
like it's
pain
a-
to watch it twice?
Exactly. It's a hassle.
Excuse me?
And then she says, "OMG, I see it now, Misty." And I responded and said, "See what?" Because I'm super confused at this point. And she says, "Donnie doesn't have a shirt on either for just a second." I don't know. A comment is a comment. So if you guys want to keep making stuff up and leaving it in our comments, that's fine.
Is welcome. Any interaction.
Any interaction.
we
is
enjoy
Trolling
it.
us. Y'all probably
That's
saw the
fine.
episode with Prophet Giratina trolling
Right.
us. I think that's what's going
I
on
think that's what
again.
they're, because he got attention, so they're
yeah,
wanting to do
yeah.
it. That's, you're
And
right.
We
You're
just
right.
shouted him out.
You're
so
right. That's exactly what it is.
Any interaction is welcome.
Even the trolls, we enjoy it.
We have a non-trolling comment, thank goodness.
Oh, okay.
From Alucard.
Alucard.
Alucard. Not familiar with what that is, but it looks like it's
The vampire
Oh, really?
from an anime or manga.
Okay, I was
Depends.
going to say it sounds like it's got some kind of meaning behind it, but I wasn't sure what. Cool. The Black-Eyed Children may be vampires. We talked about that. He or she says, "Never let them in your house," regarding the Black-Eyed Children. "There is a reason you never hear about people who let them in." That's
Okay.
very
Well,
true.
maybe
you
I'll
got a
have my
point.
own found footage.
Yeah, where are we going to record it?
We've said from the beginning, our dream is found footage.
I'm gonna be the first one
But yeah, that is
before
true.
30.
That is true. You don't hear about them for a reason.
Before 30.
Donnie, I don't know. I don't know if you should do that, man.
Before 30.
Before 30, what, before you turn
Or-
30?
Yeah.
Or
Ain't trying to make it that long.
What, I look
Don't-
like Jesus? I look like Jesus to you?
maybe.
I'll retire at 25.
Boy,
Live the rest
that's
of
a
my
few
days
months.
out. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's all the YouTube comments, the new ones that we have. I don't remember any Facebook or Instagram comments. I might have had a few on TikTok that I need to those. But the best way you can get a hold of us, would be YouTube, because it's really easy to get to. If you have left us a comment on Facebook or anywhere else and we haven't responded, please resend it along with anything new you'd like to send us, stories, artwork, anything like that. You can send that to our email address, which is terrorformpodcast@gmail.com.
We did have a Facebook comment that we weren't too sure about.
Oh,
yeah,
did we?
another troll.
No.
Maybe.
Well, I don't know, but Jennifer,
Maybe.
if you're watching, we really weren't sure on what you meant by sending The Streak by Ray Stevens.
Oh, yeah.
We were very confused and didn't know how to respond. So if you could
Elaborate.
Explain.
comment
Elaborate.
on
We're not
something
very bright sometimes.
Elaborate.
I have a theory.
Okay.
Because I didn't realize it was a song, so I looked it up.
I
and
did
then
too.
I was like, wait,
I
this
did
is a
too.
song. I read through the whole thing.
I did too.
I was like, this mentions nothing about Black Eyed Kids, so I was
Yeah.
so confused.
Yeah. I have a theory that she was trying to comment on like a post above or below ours and accidentally commented on ours. That's the only theory I could come up with.
It makes sense.
Logical.
So, Jennifer, if you are watching, clarify.
Whatever, nigga.
Noise.
Is the song about streaking?
If you are watching. Is it a song about streaking? Because maybe she's trolling us about the shirt thing that didn't happen.
Wait a
Yeah.
minute.
Maybe you get a point.
Hold
We're on
on.
to something
Hold
now.
on, let's look it up real quick. Look it
Hold
up,
up.
guys.
Hold on.
Hold up. Intermission. Uh-oh. Okay. Small break and just a friendly reminder to send in your artwork. Any kind of evidence you have or stories that you're willing to share.
Oh, maybe it is because it says naked
Okay.
as a jaybird.
Oh my god. I think we figured it out.
We figured it out right here live on air.
Yeah, as we're recording.
Look at this.
So,
Hey.
Jennifer, if you're watching and we got this right,
Let us
go
know.
ahead and comment as
Go
well.
ahead and comment, let us know. Did we get it right? Are you trolling us about the shirt thing that didn't happen?
I don't know where everybody's getting that from.
I
But
don't either.
I don't understand it.
Donnie, you got some water on your nose.
Oh, you do, boy. You dripping.
Up. The
Alright.
Brit. There we go.
In between your eyebrows.
it
How'd you get
says
water
he's
there?
just as
'Cause
proud
he's
as he
low
can be. You get your clothes on. So that must be. So
Yeah.
I don't know where they're
mentions
getting all
nudity.
this clothing related stuff from, but
Yeah, I don't know where that's coming from. I don't either.
I don't either. And I'm in the same room with y'all.
yeah, we're all here and none of us saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have these bright ring lights. There's no way we could have missed it.
Maybe it's just one collective troll that they're hopping on.
Yeah.
That's
Like, hey,
what I
let's
think.
mess with them.
Yeah, they all had like a secret chat,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Hey, this will be funny," which we
It
commend
is
you for.
funny.
We
Yeah,
commend
it
you
was
for.
funny,
It's
but it was
funny.
confusing.
Yeah, it's
Very
confusing, but-
confusing,
Yeah,
but
it is what it is.
But very clever.
Very
It's
clever,
pretty
very
amazing that
clever.
multiple people who may not know each other in the same area
Right.
are bringing it up. Y'all reading each other's comments or something? You know, just running with it. But I commend you. It's very clever.
Hey, tell me about this house that you guys were ghost hunting at.
Sheesh.
well, it's semi-abandoned. We recorded probably a good hour worth of footage there. Not too much stuff was happening, kind of like what we were saying about the garage thing. Like, you could definitely feel a different atmosphere in the room whenever something, is there, which really wasn't going on there. But we did get a pretty solid EMF reading go off. Which
Pretty solid.
like in the video in the garage, you couldn't see it go off on the floor because it's just like a little beep, like a little flash. This, it actually picked it up on the camera, and you could hear it through the camera speakers because the closer you, like, say you put it up to the light switch, the closer you get to it, like, it has to be super close, like probably within like 2 inches, and the closer you get, it'll light up, just the middle. And the closer you get, the light spreads to the other 4 because it has 8 total lights, 4 on one side, 4 on the other. The closer you get, the middle one starts and then it spreads to the outer ones. Well, once you get like really close, it starts like hissing, and you can hear that hiss from the camera, which was
Pretty far.
audio and visual listeners. I'm sorry, but
About 10
it's
feet
about
away from us.
here to that wall, if not a little bit further.
Okay.
Maybe
So,
10 feet?
Yeah, probably 10 or so feet away, and you could hear it pick that hissing
And
up.
you can see
on
the
the
lights
camera, and you
actually
see-
show
yeah.
up. And it
But
was so random, too.
You
Because
caught
he
it on your phone in the
Yeah.
garage, but the
Yeah.
it was very mild.
the Phasm camera didn't pick it up in the
Okay.
garage, but the Phasm camera picked it because we
Yeah,
didn't have a
right,
secondary
right.
camera,
Yeah.
which I regret because it probably would have been better on stuff, But
Right.
so there
But,
was that, and
then Donnie asked a question, too, because he had the little EVP
yeah, I had
record on
just
his
asked.
wrist. And he said, "Are there any spirits here?" And right when he says that is when it went off.
And then she was like, or somebody was like, well, was it the chandelier?
me.
Because it was right above me. and it has light bulbs and stuff. So well, when it goes off, I kind of try to follow it to keep it because it's starting to go away. So I try to follow it, and I go towards Erin with it. She's like, "Don't come near me."
And I'm like, it's next to me because we were standing pretty close to each other. I'm like, oh my god, this ghost is standing like right in front of me.
She mentioned the chandeliers, so I put it all up and it was touching the lights with it, and there's no electricity going through them, so it wasn't making it light up or anything. So it wasn't that. It was just, and we were in the middle of the room, so there's nothing there, and I'm holding it maybe a foot or two away from me. But even if you put it to your phone, you have to be like legit touching it,
and it won't go off that strong either.
No, it'll just like the first light will go off barely.
Yeah.
So that was like probably out of the 3 ghost hunts
it was pretty compelling.
It was the best evidence I've caught yet.
Really?
But boy, if that REM pod goes off,
man, I'm waiting on it. I'm waiting on it.
Yeah,
I would not be a skeptic.
Yeah, same.
Unless we could debunk it, but
there's it's gotta be super hard to debunk that.
Yeah,
I feel like
especially if it's just sitting in the middle of the room.
Nothing.
Yeah. Well, I usually put them in the doorway because I feel like they might enter the room. Maybe they're not in the room, so I like trying to put it in a doorway.
Yeah.
So if it does come into the room, we're also like alerted that it's coming in,
Yeah.
Or it could be walking out if it's already in the room. But yeah, I guess we could start putting it in the middle of the rooms, but
it ended up dying on us, the battery. So,
but it was at the very end.
It was at the
But I did some EVP sessions and I didn't capture any voices or anything. Tried the spirit box, didn't capture anything. REM pod never went off, but there were some orbs in the upstairs bedroom where we originally started, where my friend Dylan said that
both Dylans were there.
He always felt the most activity would
upstairs.
Go on,
which is what I wanted to circle back to. Is what's the story behind this house? Why did you guys decide to ghost hunt there?
Well, we were told
many reasons.
We were told that, well, for one, it's practically abandoned, and we know who owns it, so we have access to it without fear of trespassing. So that's one of the reasons. Then, funny thing, kind of, we were actually trying to buy the house, and when the owner
that story
was showing us around the house, telling us everything about the house, what's wrong with it, what we'd have to fix, whatever, what he would want to do with it, he took us to the attic. And it's funny because before, at the very beginning when he's showing us the bedroom and then taking us to the hallway, he was like, I know they say that it's haunted, but there ain't no entity in here but me, blah, 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 So we go upstairs to the second story. It's
broad daylight, too. This is, during the day.
And he takes me up to the attic. Me and him are standing in the attic, and he's telling me about the attic and, how it used to not have all the supports, but they had to cut the top off, whatever. Well, it sounds to me like maybe I say it sounds like kind of like a mud dauber nest or something hitting the floor, because it's like a wooden floor, like something small and hard hitting the floor.
Mud daubers, that's so specific.
Well, there's nests in the house.
There's some mud dauber nests in the house. So I hear this, that's what I was kind of amounting it to in my mind, was like a
rationalizing
mud dauber nest hitting the ground, but it was really consistent.
Small and hard.
Yeah, it was like
sounds familiar.
Like a cucuy.
But yeah, it was like it would happen on a consistent basis, like it tick.
It was drawn out.
Tick.
And then it became more
And then it became more of like a thud that sounded like somebody was walking through the house. And at this point, I hear that turn into like a walking sound. Mm-hmm. And Erin's standing on maybe the second or third, no, maybe the third or fourth.
I was in the middle of the ladder.
Step of the ladder.
So my head's in the attic, but my legs are out.
And I start hearing that, and I glance down at her, and she's looking up at me like, oh, you're hearing that too? And then I kind of smile because I don't want to laugh because he's going to be like, what? Oh, we hear something walking around. Right. And I see Erin take another step up the ladder.
Girl was getting spooked.
Oh, no.
But we kind of, and she said that I didn't really hear the keys jingling, but she said that she heard keys jingling
Like
And
with the footsteps.
I just
like
mainly
someone
heard
had
the
their car
thuds.
keys with them or something.
But we kind of thought it was one of his friends showing up because when we first got there, his friend was there and he ended up taking off before we went through the house. So we thought maybe someone else showed up and was looking for him and was going through the house trying to find him.
Yeah.
But
Like,
we come back downstairs and
there's
nobody's in the house.
There's nobody there. And it sounded straight up like someone was walking in the house.
That's weird how it started off as like tapping and then like
Yeah.
turned into footsteps.
I know. Yeah, because whenever we were upstairs and they were going to the attic, I was just going to stand on the floor. And I was already kind of starting to have a weird feeling. Because I was like, oh, this house isn't bad. I don't feel anything. Until I was just standing there and I'm like, I feel like something's up here or like in the house now. And then the guy that was showing us the house, he was like, come on there and you could come up here too. So that's when I crawl up the attic, but I'm not like going all the way in there. And then that's when I start hearing it. And I was like occasionally looking at him.
Were you
And
looking down and like
sometimes,
in the
yeah,
hallway?
like I'd look behind me, just like trying to prepare myself if someone, like a real human was coming up. Because I felt like regardless if it was a ghost or an actual living person, it was going to scare me anyways, like surprise me. So I was trying to brace for that and try not to jump. But yeah, I was like hearing it was like a thud. And then it'd be like long, a few like seconds, maybe a minute, and then do it again. And then it start going. Just like footsteps. And then I start hearing like the keys and stuff, like someone was walking in there.
Yeah, that's really creepy.
Yeah.
But
it
like there was, when we were doing the hunt, like there were certain times where the room would get super dark,
get
like where
very
you can't
dark.
see and you would get that ominous feeling. But then all of a sudden it was just bright again. Like it's kind of weird how it.
Like you can sense
Yeah.
it.
like a shadow fell over the
Uh-huh.
room or
yeah,
something.
Yeah,
it's
and
it's really weird.
The room has like tons of windows in it, and it was a pretty bright moon out, and so you should be able to like kind of see. And it just got like super dark, and like around the same time, our friend also mentioned, she's like, it feels really creepy in here. Like something was off, like she sensed something in there,
But then we went to the downstairs room
and you could see.
Erin had the EMF deal because she was kind of in charge of that, and the other friend, Dylan's girlfriend Cheyenne, she was standing up against the wall and she started freaking out because she felt this like cold gust of wind starting. Like she felt it on her hand at first and it went all up her like body. And she's like, oh my God, it's getting really cold. Erin. And
Well,
like, so Erin
no.
tried to like sweep her with the EMF.
Well, I felt it first. Well, like I felt it first because I was standing in front and I was holding it, and I was like, my hand's getting really cold. I have like nowhere.
Well, that's because you're holding it up
Well,
and
I
losing
d-
blood flow.
Shut up. So I said, yeah. I said it feels really cold, and then like a minute later, she's like, I feel something like it is cold, and she was like feeling it on her too.
But like she said, it was like her whole body basically. But it was debunked because the sunroom door was open and there's like zero insulation. It's all windows. So it was a lot
It was
colder in
probably a
there.
breeze,
And
yeah.
I think the air
Was
changed.
blowing
It was
through.
pulled, the hot air was going in, the cold air was getting pulled out. So I think that's kind of what that was. But it scared her until we figured out what it was.
But also, when that EMF went off upstairs on the camera, it might be dust, but right when that thing is going off, I back up and there's like an orb following me as I'm backing up.
I thought it looked more like it went straight out to the EMF. I saw one go straight out to the like towards my hand holding the EMF kind of. I'd have to look at it again, but I remember seeing one like float towards me, and it might have been towards her, but it looked like it was going to my hand. And which I guess she could see it going to her because it was in my right hand and she was on my right side. But
Well,
it
the
looked
one
like it
I
was
saw
going
was
straight.
kind of more at the bottom, and it went towards my legs.
Oh, I don't know, but yeah, we'd have to review.
Rewatch it.
Y'all might be able to see that here soon, but
So is this house? Did someone die there though?
Oh, that's another thing.
I don't know
It's
if
a
we should go into that because it might be.
No, I'm not talking about
But there's
people
a
dying.
reason to believe that it's haunted.
Yeah,
Well,
well, the
So
original
was it just
house,
like a random decision?
the original house is, they say, was built in like the 1800s, and then they added on in the 70s the
So
additional
it's pretty
parts.
old.
And What were you gonna say?
No, that's just what I was gonna
Oh,
say. Like the
okay.
house was built in like the 1800s.
But the previous owners, or at least the children, had experiences, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we want to, which we probably can either next weekend or some other weekend because he's supposed to be coming back down, and we did kind of run the idea by him of getting him recorded in his experiences. Cause
I
he has
asked
a
him, he said
couple-
he was nervous, like the last time.
Well, the first time he said no.
Yeah.
Then the second time he's like, I don't know, I'm kind of
He
nervous.
should. Come on,
But
Dylan. Come on,
he will.
Cheyenne. Y'all
Dylan, I
y'all
know
want
you're
to.
watching this at your shop. Come on.
Come on.
When you come back to Brenham, we're recording you. We'll get you a couple beers in,
Yeah.
and you can tell your stories.
Your
and we'll
foreman
use it in
ghost-
our docu-series.
Your foreman ghost would want you to be on. Come on. Okay,
George
Cheyenne.
would want
George
this.
would want you.
And if you know us personally, or if you know someone who knows us, and you want us to come ghost hunt at a residence that you own, let us know.
And you're okay with it and everything like that.
We want to come check it out. We want to come shoot some stuff there that we will release at a later time. Get your story from you. And yeah, we don't want to be that tap that goes trespassing around. We want
Yeah.
to get our permissions.
Yeah. I
So-
can't be catching a case where I work. Like,
Yeah.
I can't be a part of that
Yeah.
demographic.
Yeah. So contact us, terrorformpodcast@gmail.com, or if you know one of us, just tell us personally,
Yeah, you can
and we'll
message
come over
us.
to
Or
your
the
place.
Terrorform Podcast Facebook page,
And you-
Instagram, YouTube comment, whatever.
Hit us up, and we will come over. We will do some ghost hunting. Get your story. You can be involved. You cannot be involved. Completely up to you. And yeah.
Yeah. We're open to accommodate whatever you feel like you want to do. Yeah.
We'll go on and
Come on.
keep it
Spooky. I like that.
Make it creepy, y'all.
Keep it